Are you considering making a move to Beverly Hills, Florida, and you want to know what the pros and cons are so you can really decide if this is a place for you? Well, in this video, I'm going to break down the pros and cons of actually living in Beverly Hills, Florida, so you can have that answer for yourself when you're making that decision. My name is Gabriel Chiron. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in the Beverly Hills area. I make content all the time about moving to Beverly Hills, Citrus Springs, and Citrus County in general. I lived in Beverly Hills. I grew up in Beverly Hills, specifically in Pine Ridge. So I know the area like the back of my hand, and I am going to give you guys everything you need to make that decision. So let's get into the first pro. The first pro is that there is affordable homes compared to other parts of Florida and the country. And that's not just for the smaller sections of Beverly Hills where homes are going to be, 250,000 or 200,000 or 300,000. Even for Pine Ridge, when you're getting into the bigger lots that are an acre, you're looking at 400, 500, 600, even the equestrian spots there that are going to be 800. Compared to other parts of Florida, if you were to buy those properties in bigger cities, maybe further down south, or in a bigger city like Jacksonville or Tallahassee, then you're going to be paying more premium prices. When I drive to Tampa, whether it be for a baseball game or I have a closing there or anything, I drive past lots of equestrian communities very similar to Pine Ridge and Beverly Hills, and those are starting in the 400s, even for those smaller homes here that you can get for less. So it's extremely affordable. Your money's going to go a lot farther than most other states, and it's going to go a lot farther than other places here in Florida. The second pro is that it's quiet and less crowded compared to bigger cities. So if you're near a Tampa or Orlando or Gainesville or even really into Ocala, it can get a little loud. And what I mean is, you're going to hear the highways sometimes. You're going to have a lot of traffic, especially in the mornings and rush hour and on the weekends. If you don't want to be in that traffic, you want to avoid that bumper to bumper, adding 15 or 20 minutes to your drive, then Beverly Hills is a perfect place for you, because you still can go out to Ocala. It's like 25-30 minutes, but where you live, you're not going to have to deal with that. If you live in Ocala, even going to the grocery store, you're dealing with that on a constant basis. In bigger cities, Tampa, Orlando, if you've been to Orlando, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It can take forever to literally just go to the store or go get a bite to eat. So you avoid all of that here, and you have those bigger lots that I'm telling you about in Pine Ridge specifically, where homes are not stacked on top of each other like in some of these suburbs, to where you literally look out your window and you're seeing your neighbor. Even in some parts of Beverly Hills, you can have some more spacious lots where you can have fencing or privacy fencing. You're not looking right at your neighbor. So that's really awesome for people that want to keep that privacy and don't want to literally be living with their neighbor wall to wall. And the last pro that I wrote down is that there's a variety of options here in Beverly Hills. So if you've been on my channel before or you watch my other videos, I've made videos about Citrus Springs. And don't get me wrong, I love Citrus Springs. I think there's a lot of great affordable new construction and older homes that have been renovated, and even some flip opportunities if you want to get your hands dirty. But what I've seen is that folks really appreciate Beverly Hills more when they don't really know the area, just because there's a variety of different options. Versus Citrus Springs, you're kind of limited. You're gonna have 2-2s, 3-2s, some 4-2s, of course, lots of new construction, some older homes, but you're not gonna have that variety as far as land. So if you want like an acre, you can't really have that in Citrus Springs. You're gonna be stuck at like a quarter acre, a third acre, sometimes half acre, depending on if you can buy the lot next door, or if they already have it, that kind of thing. So that can be something to think about if you want bigger land. In Pine Ridge, which is in Beverly Hills, that's a community that has all acre lots and plus, so that can be very attractive to a lot of folks. And even if you don't want that, maybe you want to be in like a nice on the golf course community, well, they have the fairways at the Oaks. If you want to be in a small community like where there's only 300 homes, there's Oak Ridge. It has a community golf course. There's an HOA. It's not very expensive, and they're not really breathing down your neck, but it keeps things up and moving. It keeps people keeping their property nice, upkeep. It's a family setting. If you want to be in, a quieter part of Beverly Hills, there's kind of the Beverly Hills side that backs up to that farmland in Hernando and the power lines, to where you're not going to have back neighbors. It could be really quiet. That's extremely walkable. You can walk your dog. You can ride your bike around there. You can go on a jog. All those roads are freshly paved. It's amazing. And then you have, Beverly Hills, which is like the actual community of Beverly Hills. And you can get, older homes that have been completely renovated for like $200,000. So there's lots of different options for people in Beverly Hills. If you have a horse, you can be in Pine Ridge. You can get 5 acres. You can get, 6 acres. You can get 2 acres. If you just want 3 acres and you don't want to have a horse, there's just so much variety, and that's kind of why I'm starting to pivot more towards Beverly Hills and making content about Beverly Hills, because it can resonate with so much more people. Not that I'm not focusing on Citrus Springs still, I'm going to, but I'm kind of expanding where I'm trying to educate people because of that, and that's a big reason why I'm making this video right now. Now let's move into the cons, because you have to be honest with people, and cons are anywhere you might live. So the first con is that there's limited nightlife and not a whole bunch to do. So when I mean limited nightlife, I mean there's not going to be like clubs and stuff to do, late at night like that here. If you're looking more for like a Gainesville, Orlando, Tampa, it's not going to have that kind of nightlife. Now there are, bars here and tiki bars and grills that they do live music, and it's absolutely beautiful and nice. So if you're into that, they still have that. It's just not going to be to the extent of those bigger cities. And of course, when I mean limited things to do, obviously in Orlando you're going to have Disney World, Universal. I mean, there's city walks. There's 3-story, and 2-story malls. Like, there's just so much to do in Orlando and Tampa. And don't get me wrong, you can just drive there. Tampa's about an hour. Orlando's about an hour and 15 minutes. And Tampa, you can actually get there in like 45 minutes now with the Suncoast Parkway. It just depends where you're at in Citrus County. But if you don't mind driving, then this could still be a really good area for you. You just drive out there when you want to do that stuff. But this is really focused on nature. Citrus County, Pine Ridge, Citrus Springs, Beverly Hills. We have the state trails. We have state parks. We have a lot of, people that go on the water. You go scalloping, you go fishing, you go on the boat, you go kayaking. Like, we have a lot, and we go have horseback riding, of course, because half of Pine Ridge is an equestrian community. So we have a lot of nature-focused activities here. Golf is huge here, pickleball, tennis, that kind of thing. We have tons of golf courses. So just keep that in mind when you're moving here. That's really what you have to do. Another con is that some of the older homes might need updating. So there's homes in Beverly Hills, in Pine Ridge that, are older. I actually am representing one right now, where it's an older home, built in 1990 or 1989, and single owner, and just never had any updating. So if you want to buy it, you can buy that one for cheaper, and then update it yourself. You can put a lot of sweat equity into the property, so that's something. And also in Beverly Hills, the community of Beverly Hills, there's a lot of sometimes older homes that need renovating. So like I said, if you want to keep at the cheaper end, you can still buy in Beverly Hills. You just might need to put some elbow grease, and if that's something you want to do, or you're handy and you can do a little bit at a time, then perfect. Versus sometimes in the suburbs or bigger cities, these homes are already renovated. Investors have picked them up, reselling them. So just not as much modern homes if you're going the older home route. Now there's tons of new construction and stuff like that, but if you specifically want an older home because you like that style and you want it renovated, some of those might need updating, so just keep that in mind. Of course, there are some older ones that have had renovations and stuff, but just not all of them. The last con is that you're not as close to a major city as you would be like a suburb of Tampa, Orlando. Some people want to be within 20 minutes of the airports, or 30 minutes of the airports, or 20 minutes of Tampa, Orlando, or Gainesville, versus here you're going to be farther away from that. So if you don't mind driving when you need to go there, that's fine. You can drive to the airport or have someone drop you off or pay for your car, whatever. But you're just not going to be as close as some developments that are going to be right outside of those big cities. So those are the big cons. So there you go. Those are the pros and cons of living here. Again, if you guys are thinking of buying here or selling here, or you know someone that needs help moving to this area, all my contact information is in the description below. I would love to help you guys. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Any way you want to reach out to me, I am available and here for you guys. Hit that subscribe button so that we can stay up to date on everything Citrus County, Beverly Hills, Citrus Springs. I'm going to keep creating content. I don't want you guys to miss out on that. And then like this video. That helps push it to people that are looking for this exact same answers as you. It helps the algorithm. And drop anything in the comments that you guys want to say, anything I can be doing better, any topics you want me to cover, anything you just want to say. Put it out there. I respond to every single comment, and I'm here to make this as great for you guys as possible. I do it for you. So let me know what you want, what I can be doing better, and I am here to help. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Bye.